Hey, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. We are officially starting week 4 of our summer term, so we are just about halfway through. Congratulations on making it this far and hopefully submitting your first essay. So this is the beginning of week 4. Let's go back real quick to week 3 and just recap what we were doing last week. So essentially, you were finishing your personal narrative essay, so you should have submitted your final draft by Friday, June 20th. I did record a short video on just like basic MLA formatting in Google Docs specifically. So I know that that's what most people use these days for as a word processor. If you have Microsoft Word or if you're using Pages, then it's going to be slightly different, but the overall format will be the same, just kind of what you click on is going to be a little different. So that can still help you if that's something that you need some support with. Okay. Also, please make sure that you view any comments that I leave on your assignments because I'll often give you feedback there, telling you, something that I'd like for you to see you do differently, or if I suggest a change, or if I give you praise on something you're doing well. So definitely read those comments. And then sometimes I will also leave annotations on your actual document. And then to see that, you'll need to click on a little link that says view feedback that is within the assignment. This link here will give you a little bit more specific steps to find that if you need it. Okay, so for today, Monday, June 23rd, we have some articles to read for writing essays and rhetorical styles, excuse me. So this is just kind of an overall introduction to writing essays at the college level. Typically, when you learn how to write an essay, you're learning a 5 paragraph form. But in college, when you're asked to write, a 5, 7, 10 page paper, 5 paragraphs is not going to cut it. So we're kind of broadening ourselves here, learning different essay types and styles, how to organize them, and what they look like. So primarily, for example, in this article called Overview of Rhetorical Styles, it's going to tell you a little bit about expository writing, which is the second essay that we're doing now. Essay 2 is an expository essay. So it's really like you are explaining, you are informing your audience on something. Like it says, you're trying to explain a concept, you're imparting information from yourself to a wider audience. We're not going to specifically focus on these types of expository writing, like a how-to article, although you could, since you do have a choice of a topic. You can do a type of like business, technical, or scientific writing, but we're going to be mainly focused on compare and contrast, which can be a form of expository writing, and cause and effect also, which can be a form of expository writing. And most often, when you view an essay in the real world, uh, the author will be combining different types of essays. So, for example, when we read Shooting an Elephant by George Orwell, while that was primarily a personal narrative, it was also somewhat of a comment on the culture and the British imperialism, as well as just kind of explaining and informing the audience about what this relationship looks like. Okay, so you needed to read the prompt for Essay 2. This is the Essay 2 assignment page, so it's going to just tell you exactly, what you need to be doing, give you examples of an expository essay, what your essay should include, and the format and length. So this is going to be 4 full pages. You need to follow MLA formatting guidelines, and then you also need to use at least 2 sources. So for this essay, you're going to need to have a works cited page, and you're also going to need to cite your sources in your paragraphs. So I do have resources on those things for you as well. All right. The TED Talk is just giving you an introduction to specifically, in this case, a cause and effect, kind of expository, informative, not an essay style because this is a talk, a speech, but this does follow a general pattern that your essay would follow: an introduction, discussing each cause and effect, and then a conclusion. So I think it's a good kind of introduction and a good way for you to see like what this can look like, what an expository cause and effect can look like. And then for today, the last thing you need to do is submit your topic proposal for Essay 2. So you do have a choice of your own topic for this essay. It can be cause and effect, it can be compare and contrast, or it could be something else, like a, technical, scientific, business related writing where you're explaining maybe some aspect of one of those fields. If you have another idea, I'm open to that. So just write it down in your topic proposal, and I will give you feedback and let you know if I see any issues with what your proposed topic is. Okay, so for this week, week 4, for Friday, June 27th, there are a few more articles for you to read called Writing Essentials. So this is from the Module 3 of Lumen Learning, the English Composition 1, basically textbook that we are using for this class. And this is just giving you an kind of overall review or introduction to essays in general. Thesis statements, topic sentences, paragraphs, introductions, conclusions, audience awareness, tone, sentence structure, all the things that you need to know. So take your time going through this. If you need to take extra time for these annotations or notes, that is totally fine. It's the main thing that I'm concerned with is that you are getting the information and that you are using it in your writing rather than, completing it as soon as possible or as fast as possible. Okay, next is this essay called The Inner Ring by C.S. Lewis. So you need to read this essay and either annotate it or take notes and submit your annotations or notes here. I'd also love to, hear your personal responses, thoughts on this essay. This is one of my favorite essays because I think that it's very relatable for pretty much all of us. So, of course, you've probably heard the name C.S. Lewis before. He's the author of The Chronicles of Narnia and also the Christian apologetic book, Mere Christianity. But in this essay, which is primarily an expository essay, though it does have elements of a personal narrative, Lewis is exploring this idea of the inner ring in all sorts of different contexts, whether it be school or work or any kind of community that you're a part of. And so you can kind of just consider how this essay is expository, how it's explaining or informing this idea to the audience, and then how he is weaving in his personal anecdotes, stories from his own life into this issue and kind of probing those deeper philosophical, psychological elements of what's going on here. So a great example of a good essay and a great writer. All right, next you're going to post your working thesis. So in the topic proposal, you need to have a working thesis, which is kind of like a rough draft of your thesis statement. And it is okay for that to change. And just kind of in the writing process, naturally, it will change, evolve, get better, become more clear, etc. So you're going to post your working thesis in this expository thesis workshop. And the goal is for you to help each other with your thesis statements specifically. So you're going to post your working thesis by Friday, June 27th, and then you need to respond to 2 classmates a week later or before the week is up by Friday, July 4th. I know Friday, July 4th is a holiday, but I'm just trying to keep things consistent with the Friday and Monday due dates. So, feel free to turn in your assignments early so that you're not worrying about that on the 4th of July. Okay, next up is your outline of essay 2. So please read through these essay guidelines that I have linked here. This is just like a basic outline, kind of what you should be including in each section of your essay, right? Like what your introduction should include, what your body paragraphs need to include, your conclusion, and then just some additional tips. Okay, and then I do have a template for this, so you're welcome to use this. You're also welcome to use your own kind of organizational pattern for the outline. It's up to you, but I do have this available if you would like to use it. All right, so I know it seems like a lot, but again, this is a fast track class and we've only got 8 weeks. So just do your best, right? A little bit at a time. If you need extra time for something, please don't stress about it. If it's a homework assignment, I'm not too worried if it's a couple days late. If it's a bigger thing, like maybe your outline, if you're struggling with something, please reach out to me. Let me know what's going on. Let me know that you're struggling, that you need some extra time, and I'm willing to work with you. All right, and then for Monday, June 30th, you have a research assignment due. So this is pretty much the main thing that you'll be working on for those few days or this week. The first thing is to take a look at the information and graphics on the research page from my website here. Just kind of some general information about research, about types of evidence, how to evaluate sources, to find credible sources, and to think about, the day and age that we live in that's full of misinformation, disinformation. So we want to be aware of those things anytime we are looking for sources for our essay or really just in everyday life. There are some articles that you need to read and take notes on, just all about researching, finding sources, using databases, etc. Part two is keywords. You need to think about your topic for essay 2 and write down some keywords that you can use to begin your research. Part three, please watch this video where I walk you through how to access and use the Chaffey College Library databases. So as a student at Chaffey College, you have access to a ton of resources that the college pays for, specifically academic journals and um, like periodicals that the college pays for. So rather than just using Google, you want to focus on using credible databases where the information is a little bit more checked, right? On the internet, anybody can say anything. If you are looking through an academic journal, those peer-reviewed articles are going to have an extra level of credibility because they've already been through some sort of a discriminatory process. Okay, number 4, you're gonna copy and paste, which I show you how to do in the video, the MLA citation for a couple potential sources. You do not have to use those in your essay. They're just ideas or potentials for you, and then also just to get you familiarized with the process of finding the MLA citation and copying and pasting it. In your essay, it will be in the Works Cited page. And then part 5 is for you to read this small little snippet of a book called Rising Strong by Brene Brown. She has this little note on research, which I think is really beneficial. I think oftentimes we think of, evidence or data just being numbers, percentages, the facts, but she makes a good case for using, stories, individuals' stories and personal experiences as well as the hard numbers, right? We need to be looking at both the anecdotes and the numbers and to get a really full and complete picture of an issue. Okay, so you're going to submit notes or annotations for all those things to this research assignment. And then finally, you have the Success Center or PAL activity number 2, which is due Monday by midnight. And I did just want to note that our class pal, Lawrence, he holds sessions every Monday at 4:30, and you are welcome to attend those sessions with him. He is focusing specifically on the assignments for this class, the essays for this class. So he knows, right, what you're doing, and he can really help you with anything that you might be struggling with. If you attend one of those sessions, it also counts for your Success Center activity. So it's a great way to complete those. And for the mandatory or extra credit tutoring sessions, you can make an appointment with him. So this is his availability. You can make an appointment with him to complete those tutoring sessions as well, which I think is a great option, especially if you like that kind of one-on-one tutoring support. Though I know a few of you are partial to the Net Tutor, which is a great option as well. And I did just want to note that the Net Tutor, when you receive your feedback, you receive it here in the NetTutor kind of account. So let's see if I can find it. Let's see if you click on drop off a paper. Oh, actually, it was right back here. Your English literate and literature locker. That is where you're going to be able to see the feedback from a paper that you drop off. So if you dropped off a paper and you're kind of wondering, where is my feedback? I didn't get any feedback. You need to come here and look for it there. So I got clarification on that. Okay, that's it for week 4. I hope that's all clear. Sorry if this was a little bit of a longer video, but as always, feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns. I'm always happy to help, and I hope you all have a great week. Bye.